in this session, we are going to discuss about the manage version control with the GIT. GIT is a most famous platform where you can put your code and you can check about the versions, about the changing of the versions, about the updation in the files, and lots of the things. It is the commonplace. What is the problem? Actual problem is the lots of the time multiple person are doing the exercise practice on a same code. Means you are writing the code, I am writing the code, and the file is the same. So what happened when I will write the code, same code you will be right. That is the problem. So why using the repository? If you will update any code into the file, it will be reflected to the others. Others can see that yes, you have written this code. So now it's your turn. You will write some other code. So means when the multiple person are working on a single application, so every person must be updated with the changes of the code inside the code. Whatever the changes happened inside the code, every person must be aware. Like this is the code and multi-person are there. So if any person will make the changes over the code, any type of the changes will done over the code. So this changes or this change will be reflect to this one, reflect to this one, and reflect to this one as well. Means it will be reflected to all the person who are working on the same repository or the same application and make the changes on any file, and who have done the changes, it will be also displayed there. Okay, so and this is also very good to pull the content, to put the content, to make the some changes of the content. So that's very nice. GitHub, actually GIT and GitHub you have here. This is a platform where you can put your repository, your data, your application, your files, and you will do the changes, so it will be reflected on everybody. So the same things you can do on your on premises, means in a local computer you can do, local network you can do the same thing. So how you can do same things, we will discuss later on about this, and I will show you demo as well, how you can do it. So let's talk about the what is the GIT free and open source, because most of the Linux system applications are open source and available free. GIT is also. So this is actually used for the controlling the version control. Version control means when any application is developed, it started from the version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and whenever the version will be different, the code, the differentiation between the previous version code and later version code will be displayed. Another goal is of the GIT is speed. Means if the one person is doing the same task, so it will takes lots of the time. So that is necessary. The multiple person will do the work on a same task. Means the same task will be done by the multiple peoples or the person. So if they are doing, then code, the implementation or deploymentation or the writing the code will take a less time. File integrity, cannot other person can change the file. Protect file protection, so only the authorized person can make the changes inside it. Collaborative development means multiple person can do the development on the same code, and also it is used, you can develop the multiple projects, deploy the multiple projects by using the a team. Multiple person, multiple team will work on the same code or the same project, and also they can work on a different projects and then get the result or do the development. So use cases, generally standardized configuration files for the group of the servers with a similar configuration requirement. The same things like Ansible, there is a one code, you want to implement the same configuration on the multiple servers, and that servers known as a group of the servers, then you will do the minor changes over the repository, it will be impact on the all the servers. You can pull the same configuration and then you can execute the same code on the different servers. IAC, infrastructure as a code, we have discussed already. The JIT is one of the part of the IAC, means infrastructure as a code, where by using the GIT to maintaining the IAC files for the automation and the orchestration. The central repository for the administrators to share their scripts across the team. Like I have developed any script, but other person don't have enough guts, enough quality, enough knowledge, enough experience to develop the same code or the same script. So when I will do the scripting or create a script, so I will share with the others in a team, so they can use the same code and implement the same, do the same task or the configuration over the server. Development of the projects for in-house and open source software development. Use of the GIT to manage the code. How to manage the code? There is some specific applications, specific options available with the GIT. You can do it. So first you need to install the GIT on your system, on your workstation, whatever the system or workstation you are using, the any server, so it is necessary to install the GIT. And this is working over the cross platform. The multiple platforms are available to access the GIT. Now create a directory, because you want to develop a project, so it's necessary all the files should be stored on a single directory. So create a directory, name, project, or maybe any other things. It's depend on you what name you want to do it. Now designate the directory as a repository inside a GIT. You will have to tell the GIT if this one is a directory which having the my repository. So you should have to tell to the GIT, this is the directory I have assigned to you. All the configurations file will be stored on that. Okay. So when you will do all these things, then you can move. Another is a repository, GitHub. GitHub, all of us know, this is the most popular one platform where you can store your repositories. Actually, GitHub is based on the Git. So GitHub, actually this is the hub where the lots of the GIT are stored, lots of the repository files, folders are stored there, where you can implement your, create your code, develop your code and implement on this. So if you have the stored your code over the GitHub repository, so later on you can clone on your own workstation by using the git clone command. Either you can do the same repository on your on premises, or it may be the on cloud base. It's totally depend on your management on infrastructure. Syntax is a very simple. Here is a GIT syntax is a GIT and subcommands are used. Some commands may be the clone, add, commit, status. These are the commands which generally used. Clone means copy of the existing repository. So whatever the code is written over the repository, it will be clone all the data. Means just a clone, make a copy and store on your local computer. If you want to add any file on the repository, so you can add by using the subcommand add. Commit always the update. So whenever the change or you will do any type of the changes on the repository and want to store, so you can use the commit command. Once you will run the git space commit, and so it will be committed and updated over the repository. Status, check for the status about the files, whatever the files are stored on the repository. So you can use the status command or the subcommand, which will display the status of the files exist on the repository. Right. So another is a basic example. Example is here, the example one. First install and configure local repository in a directory and create a files to manage. Another is a create a branch, because one is a repository or the master repository. Another may be the branch where you can merge the branches or where you can reverse the branch. So what is the branch? Branch an existing project to work with the changes and merge the changes back into the main branch. And example 3, enable the collaboration by pulling and by pushing the changes to a remote repository and view the log entries. Okay. So GitHub repository, generally how it works, like this is your working directory, and whatever you are going to be add command, so it will be add on a staging area, and the git commit command will be do the changes and update the repository, and this is implemented same on the local repository. So local repository can be stored on the local. Not only you will store on the local computer, you will have to push whatever changes you have done. Means you have done the any type of the changes. So you will push the same data or the same files or the same updation configuration will which we go on the remote repository. And the remote repository, whatever the your repository or your data exists on the remote repository, the same data you can clone or you can pull or you can download on your local repository. Not only this system, there is a multiple servers which will be connected through the remotely on the remote repository, and all the system will able to download the files. Not only this, because here is git pull command, the same repository can be used if you have the single system or the single repository, then you can push and pull the data. But there is a, if the collaboration, so there is a multiple persons are here, they can push and pull the data, whatever the changes they will make, they can push on the remote repository.